Yes, I am wearing a cardigan in July. What of it? We're here to see all of the books that I bought in June or acquired in June. I think I bought them all. No, I had a birthday. So first up, I have 3 books from Becky Chambers' series, which I can't remember the name of. Wayfarers series. I have read A Long Way to a Small Angry Planet and really loved it, so knew that I'd want to continue with the series. I read it when I took it out from the library, so I found somebody on Vinted selling these 3, so I now have my own copy of this, which I probably would reread actually, and I picked up the 2nd and 3rd book in the series, and I think there's a 4th book, so I'll keep my eye out for that. In super condition from Vinted, no cracked spines, that's what we like to see. So looking forward to getting to the rest of those. Also from Vinted, I found a few more books from my wish list. If you watch my last book haul, I explained that I have this rule for myself where I keep a running wish list of books that I'm interested in, and every now and again I'll have a browse on Vinted, and if somebody's selling more than one of them, I give myself permission to buy them because it combines postage and all that good stuff. So I found somebody selling 4 books, in fact, that I was interested in, so that was a jackpot. The first is The Premonitions Bureau by Sam Knight. This is about a psychiatrist who was working in a mental hospital in the 60s who believed that you could predict certain kind of bad things that might happen and you could do something to prevent them. So he began this Premonitions Bureau. It's based on, or maybe it's non-fiction about a true story. I'm not actually sure. I don't know if this is fiction based on that true story or if this is a non-fiction. I will read it and let you know. But it says the Premonition Bureau is an enthralling true story of madness and wonder, science and the supernatural, a journey to the most powerful reaches of the human mind. That sounds right up my street. The next I picked up in that bundle was Early Morning Riser by Catherine Heine. This wouldn't be my normal cup of tea, but somewhere in the depths of my memories of BookTube, I saw somebody recommending this and they said that it was like still life, I'm sure. Now reading the synopsis, it sounds like romance to me, which isn't my cup of tea and isn't still life either. Still Life by Sarah Winman, I mean. So I may have made that up, but anyway, it's been on my wish list for a long time for that very reason, and so we'll see. It's about a small town romance, I think. Jane falls in love with Duncan. My partner's name is Duncan. Yeah, it looks like a romance to me, which wouldn't be my cup of tea, but I'm still going to read it because somebody said this and Still Life in the same sentence, so we'll see. Next up was Just Got Real by Jane Fallon. This is about a couple who meet on a dating site, and they kind of lie in their profiles, but when they meet in real life they fall for each other anyway. But Joni finds out that Ant is still on the dating site after they've been dating for a while, and so decides to take revenge by making friends with the other people that he's dating, and yeah, we can imagine where that goes. It sounds like a book version of The Other Woman, which was a really great film. And the last one I picked up in that bundle is All My Puny Sorrows by Miriam Taves. I've read Fight Night and Women Talking by the same author and think she's an exceptional writer. It's about, Margaret Atwood describes it as funny but wrenchingly sad. Funny but wrenchingly sad, not funny and butt-wrenchingly sad. That one. Maybe I shouldn't have filmed today. It's about 2 sisters, one of whom seems to have it all but is very depressed and suicidal, and the other sister is a bit of a mess but is doing everything that she can to keep her sister alive, and it's about their relationship. It sounds like things get more and more complicated. It sounds both harrowing and heartwarming, and that's my catnip. Then for my birthday I got 3 books. The first is Scripted by Fern Cotton. This was on my highly anticipated new releases. It's the first book that she's written in fiction. And it's about a woman who stumbles across a script, like literally on the floor or something, and it depicts a row that she has with she goes on to actually have with her partner, and then she keeps finding scripts that are kind of foretelling her future, and so she's got decisions to make about whether she acts on that knowledge and tries to change the future. Sounds really good fun. I am a big Fern Cotton fan, and I will be reading this for a reading vlog soon-ish, because I'm also going to the Happy Place Festival, which is Fern Cotton's wellbeing festival, maybe next weekend actually. That's very soon, so I'll be reading this real soon. The next is Yellowface by Rebecca F. Kuang. I'm sure you know what this is about. It's been all over the internet, and in fact I hadn't picked it up because any book that's this hyped really puts me off. So yeah, I now have an excuse to read it because I own a copy. I've heard really good things about it, and I am keen to see what it's about. I read Babel by the same author and didn't love that, but this sounds a bit more interesting to me in terms of premise, so I'll let you know how I get on with Yellowface. And the other book that I got for my birthday was Someone Else's Shoes by Jojo Moyes. I've never read any Jojo Moyes, and I wouldn't have picked this up off the shelf, but that's the beauty of gifts and things like book clubs, is that they encourage you to read things outside of your comfort zone. It sounds like a bit of a sliding door situation. Two women unexpectedly meet, paths cross, they've got very different lives. Something about some missing shoes and walking alone or standing together. It sounds alright. A giddily joyful tale of women pulling together, wonderfully wicked. That sounds smashing. Yeah, we shouldn't judge books by their covers, except we do. The next is The Strawberry Thief, which I have been lent by my gran, I think. Have a listen to this. I think this sounds like chocolat. Vianne Rocher has settled down, I've no idea how to say that place name. The place that once rejected her has finally become her home. With Rosette, her youngest child, she runs her chocolate shop in the square, talks to her friends on the river. It is. It's the same author, isn't it? Where's my bloody phone? Yeah, it is. Listen to this, doesn't it sound like chocolat? It is. It's the same author, and this must be a prequel or a sequel. It must be a sequel. So something about a mysterious new shop with strange appeal opens and it heralds change. Oh, confrontation, turbulence, even perhaps a murder. It's blurbed by Joanna Cannon, Monica Ali and Marianne Keyes, so that's all high praise. And chocolat was lovely. What an idiot. Yeah, so that's The Strawberry Thief by Joanne Harris. I also bought The Measure by Nikki Ehrlich. This is for our read for book club number 1, and I picked it because I heard Kayla at Books and Lala talk about it and thought it sounded pretty great. Essentially everybody wakes up with a box on their doorstep and it has a piece of string in it, and that piece of string represents how long they're going to live. Some people look at their strings, some people don't. It then begins to inform like how people get jobs, who should go to war, who you're going to start a relationship with, all sorts of things. So it sounds like a really interesting thought experiment essentially. I'm really excited to read that. The last book I've got to share with you today is Gin Palace by Tracy Whitwell. Fun fact, Tracy Whitwell was an actress in Soldier Soldier, and she played, I think, Robson Green's wife. If you're as old as me and you remember Soldier Soldier, then I thought that was quite an interesting fact. So this is the second book in this series. The first book I'm not going to remember the name of now. The Accidental Medium. I really enjoyed. It's really silly. I read it in my Witchlit vlog where I went to Bath Festival. So the main character, Tans, is a sort of failing actress, and she gets a job in this kind of like new age shop where there are tarot readers and crystal healing and all that good stuff. And she discovers that she has this ability to hear the dead, and she befriends the tarot reader and they embark on this kind of adventure trying to help ghosts who are kind of stuck in this world move on. And in amongst all of that they uncover a crime and solve that. So this is the second book in that series. It's a really good time. But yeah, I found it really good fun. So that's it, all the books that I picked up in June. Thank you so much for joining me. Thanks for being here. Take good care.